So should you become a high ticket appointment setter or should you become a high ticket closer? In this video, I want to give you both perspectives from my own experience and help you determine what might be best for you, because in reality, there's not one right answer, but there is if you're a certain type of individual. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. And I want to start off by specifying exactly the types of roles that I'm talking about. For example, with high ticket appointment setting, I'm specifically talking about inbound DM setting, meaning you're inside of somebody's social media account. They're specifically running certain types of marketing material for you to receive leads directly to you. So they're running ads, they're publishing content, they're consistently making call to actions on stories, and you literally just have to sit there and handle all of the people that are interested. The same goes with closing, right? You have calls populate onto your calendar and you have to sit there, talk to them, and then eventually get them to pay you. And I want to say that both picks are great. They're both a solid pick. Nonetheless, whichever you choose, it will change your life. But you have to make sure you make the right decision, because there's one perfect fit. There's one better than the other according to whatever type of person you are. So if you're this type of person and you end up choosing closing, it might not correlate the way you want it to. So make sure you watch this video and take it away, apply it, and then hopefully you can make a decision at the end. I want to start off by saying why appointment setting might be for you. I'm personally somebody who values my time. I love spending time with my family. I love doing things. I love having fun, right? It's just something that's one of the main reasons why I even got into the online business space. So if you value your time, appointment setting is probably going to be for you. On the flip side with closing, it doesn't really complement your time. The reason I say this is because closers that have the 1% offers will be expected to take calls that just come onto their calendar. And I know people who have anywhere between 8 to 10 calls every single day that they have to take. And it's just very time consuming, because every single call will probably be an hour, meaning you have to be there 8 to 10 hours every single day. And now, yeah, it might be broken into, different sectors of the day, but the point is you have to be in front of your laptop. Most of the time, these are going to be video calls. So you're going to have to be there speaking to this person, where when I was an appointment setter, I could literally do whatever it is that I honestly wanted. I can kind of recite a story about a couple of months ago where I was off-roading with my family. I only had about 2 bars left on my phone, but I was still booking in calls. And I think I even got like $300 in commission out there. Now, again, this has a double-sided answer. If you're somebody that likes a bit more structure, then that's completely fine. If you like having time slots at when you have to be present somewhere, then that's completely okay. That's going to be better for you. But again, like I mentioned, I personally like to just do whatever it is that I want to at whatever time I need to. And yeah, that's how it worked out for me. And so maybe you're somebody like that as well. So you want to make sure you take it into account on both ends here. Now, here is why closing might be for you. Like I mentioned on my last point, you like to be a little bit more punctual. You like to have a schedule set out for you a little bit more. Or if you're somebody that, I like to consider a professional yapper, right? You just like to talk a lot. You could talk all day to anybody. Again, I personally feel like I have a social battery. Literally after I spend, maybe a few hours at a social event or whatever, I kind of seem to just be gone after a couple of hours. I can't continue. I feel like I've just put in a ton of energy, but that might not be you, right? You might be somebody who really enjoys listening to other people tell you about their problems, or, maybe you talking to them about your solution. So it can get old pretty quickly, if I'm being honest, just talking to people all day on the computers. But nonetheless, that might be for you if you feel like you fall under the category of somebody who can just go on and even listen to people. Me personally, talking all day can get exhausting. If I'm being honest, within my own business, I love taking these discovery calls that I have with people, but as soon as I can, I'm going to hire somebody to do it for me, because again, I value my time. And quite frankly, having 8 to 10 calls on my calendar every single day can just get exhausting. And then coming off of that point, on the flip side with high ticket setting, you're not really talking to people. Yes, you're texting and you're kind of going back and forth with a couple of different questions, but you're not actually using your breath. You're not spending a ton of energy. It's really laid back, because in reality, I would literally be on my couch appointment setting. I could be at the beach. I could be wherever it is, just kicking back, making sure that I'm dialed in, but at the same time, it's really like clockwork, right? Especially after you become an expert at the skill set. It's really just automatic, and it doesn't really waste as much energy as closing does when you're on these calls. Now, the next point I want to start talking about here is the pay, right? The compensation. How much can you actually make on both offers? And to be honest, it's not really too much of a difference. I can say that with high ticket closing, you might be able to get a bit of a higher percentage, maybe maybe anywhere between 10 to 12%. But I have high ticket setters, the guys that I help in my private coaching community. They're usually on opportunities where they make minimum 10%. So just as an example, if you're selling a $3,000 offer as a setter, you would get $300 if the closer ends up closing it. If you're a closer, then the same kind of goes for you, maybe a little bit more, right? 350, 300, around that range. So in hindsight, the way I saw it when I first got started in the space is I can make similar to what a closer makes, except I would just work way less. And I actually had a story of one of my students tell me about how that was actually the situation on this team, where the unfortunate reality is that the closer has to be on calls 8 to 10 hours a day, or however many calls they have there, right? And as a setter, your time is really spread between the entire day, right? You can be working 10 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 20 minutes here, maybe 30 minutes, an hour in the morning, making sure you're just going through the entire list for the day and set yourself up for success. So that way you can literally do whatever it is that you want to do. Now, the next point that I want to talk about here is the difficulty. How difficult is it to pick up both of these skill sets? And I want to start off by saying that sales, by far in general, just closing, is going to be a really, really good skill set to have. I mean, there's probably not much of a better skill set that you can have other than maybe marketing. But because it's more impactful over time and you can literally just make sure you never have to worry about money again, it's going to take some time, right? It's going to take almost half a year, maybe years on end. Even now, me, as long as I've been in this industry, I'm consistently just going over sales training because honestly, you can never learn too much. So if you're somebody that likes a challenge, you like to dedicate a lot of time towards perfecting a craft, then you might want to end up going the closing route. But if you're someone that likes to learn things very quickly, you like to pick up on things and execute almost immediately, then high ticket setting is going to be for you. I've helped a ton of members inside of my private coaching community how to actually master the skill set within a couple of weeks and then eventually go on to land their role just to make their first commissions within the first couple of days. Closing is a whole different beast. Any salesperson will tell you this, that it's really not for the faint of heart. So just to wrap it up here, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, both are solid picks. You cannot go wrong with either or, but you definitely want to consider what your goals and aspirations actually look like. If you're someone that wants to move with speed, you want to make commissions now or as soon as yesterday, then appointment setting is going to be for you. On top of that, if you want to have, the utmost amount of time freedom and the ability to actually be in any part of the world and do whatever it is that you want to be doing, then again, the same thing goes for appointment setting. Or on the flip side, if you're somebody that likes to talk to people all day, you like to have a schedule, you want to learn a skill set that, might set you up years down the line, but it might take a minute, then closing might be for you as well. So hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next video.